This session, you will be a master in drawing an arc in AutoCAD by learning 11 different ways. Before starting, push that subscribe button to be a positive energy for us to continue these tutorials. Are you ready? Let's crush it! Hello friends and welcome back to YouTube channel Civil Engineering with Reza. Like always, with a positive energy, we are going to continue our tutorial series on learning AutoCAD 2025 from basic. In this session, we are going to learn how to draw an arc in AutoCAD. We will learn 11 different methods to do this, and we will learn which components we need to know to make our learning process easier in drawing an arc. If you want to learn drawing an arc one time forever, be with me till the end. Let's go. You can see our arc here with a black solid line, which I highlighted it now. In here, you know better than me. Arc is a small or a portion of a circle, so it has its characteristics like the center, the radius, and the points that we have on the circle. Let's learn them one by one. Here we have points 1, 2, and 3 as the points on the arc. The other is the center point that you can see. I told you the arc is a portion of a circle. So the center point in the arc, it means that if we continue our arc, we will make a circle and it's the center point of our circle. Then if we connect our center to the first point and the third point, you see they make an angle between them. We call this the angle of our arc. If we connect our first point directly to the third point, means that the end point that we have, we call number 1 as the start point and 3 as the end point. We have a line which we call this chord length. It's different from arc length. Here in arc, it uses the length. It means the chord length because in reality, the arc length is this curve's length. But in here, length means these chord lengths, means the line that connects the start point to the end point. Then we have our direction. Direction means that the tangent, the angle which that tangent creates by pathing from the first point. We learned these small components and informations. Now let's see what are the different ways to draw an arc in AutoCAD. Like previous commands, we can call our command with different ways. One of them is directly coming to this ribbon, and in here arc, we can choose this small triangle to have access to these subcommands. Here you have 11 ways of drawing an arc. But we have some kind of repeated forms that I will tell you. For example, their places just changed, and the way of drawing is same. It was the first way. The other way is using the alias. What is the alias of drawing an arc in AutoCAD? Is using A. If I type A and enter, now I activate my arc command. But here, be careful. You can type with small letter or capital letter because AutoCAD is not case sensitive. Let me go out of my command and come here to do our works one by one. I will go to this part to see our practices one by one. The first one is using 3 points. We use this case when we have 3 points and we want to pass an arc that goes through the 3 points which are on the arc. Now, if you keep your mouse on this command, you have a detail form and you can see more information about your command. For 3 points, you see by these 3 points, you can create the arc. For clicking and activating this, I use the left click. Now I activated my command. I can come to this part, and in command line says start point. I say this is my start point. Then says what is your second point? This is my second point, and this is my end point. Now I have my arc here. But let me activate again my 3 points. In here, as you can see, and let me delete this one. In here, if I activate my 3 points, by selecting the start point, you can have access to sub commands here. For example, here says select your end point, which give access to other ways of drawing an arc in AutoCAD that we will go through them one by one. I just wanted to inform you that you can directly change the method that you use by having an access to this command line. The other method is using start, center, and end. As you can see, for example, we have 2 parallel lines and we want to draw an arc that passes this point. Here, we use them when we know the start point, the center of our arc, and the end point. Their order is important. It means that first you should, if I use this, first I should select the start point, then center point, and end point. I activate this. Now, asks me for the start point. I want to create an arc that goes from this part. I say that, okay, my start point is here. Asks me where is your center point. Here is a trick, and I want you to give you this information, which is really useful. We can use an information here. What is that? Using an object snap. Because we don't have access directly to the center of these 2 lines. I can right click here using the shift and right click. By using the shift and right click, I have access to override object snap. What is override object snap? Get back to our tutorial and I completely explained them. What is object snap and what are different types of object snap. But here we say that I want to use the mid, means that the between 2 points. I select this. Here says that what is your points? I say my first point is here, the second point is here. Says that okay, now I selected the midpoint. Now I have access to my center point. Says what is your end point? My end point is this part. It's done. Now, the other information is start, center, and angle. We use this when we have access to the start and center point, but we want to give it with an angle. For example, I activate this. I say that my start point is here and my center point is here. Now I want to have my arc. If I continue this, it shows you schematically that what is your angles. I say I want my angle by typing to be 45. Now I have my arc created here, which is between these 2 lines with angle of 45. The other method is using the start, center, and length. What is this? Let's do it. It's similar to start, center, but here we have end, here we have the length. I come to this part. I want to draw an arc with the chord length. Be careful. It means that the points that connects the start point and end point to be 20. It means that these start point and end point. I say start point is here. Where is the center point? It's easy. We can use object snap. I use the shift and right click. Now I say meet between 2 points. I want to find between these 2 points, yeah? So I say this is my first point and second point. It automatically selects the midpoint itself, which is the midpoint of these 2 lines. Now I say my length, says that what is your length of chord? I say it's 20. If I do this, I have created my arc here too. The other method is using a start and an angle. What is this? Here, instead of, as you see, here we have start, center, and angle, but here says no, I have the start, end point, and angle. I say this is my start point, this is my end point. Now I should give the angle. For example, I say my angle, I want it to be 90. What is this angle? It means that I told you, if we find the center of this arc and select the end point to that center and the start point to that center, the angle between these two lines is the angle that we mean here. The other method is start, end, and direction. It's the new form. I say that this is my start point and this is my end point. But what is the direction? Direction, I told you, it's the tangent to my first point. If I come to this part and I say that this is tangent to my first point, so I use which direction. If I choose this direction, it means that the 90 degree. It's based on the east in counterclockwise. I can directly select this tangent point and it is my arc. The other method is start, end, and radius. I say this time I have my start point and end point, but I give the radius. My radius I want to be 20. So what is that radius? Like that. If I find the center of this arc, it's part of a circle. It means this radius of that circle is your radius that you use in this arc. The other method is using the center, start, end. This is completely similar to this one. Start, center, end. The order is just changed. Here we needed to select the start point at first, but here says no, select the center point. I say okay, now I need to select my center point. How can I select my center point? Again, shift and right click. I have access to my override object snap. Here I use the midpoint. I say this and this point. Now it's automatically selected my center point. Say that what is your first point, start point? I say my start point of the arc is here and end point is here. The other method is center, start, and angle. It's similar to this one. Let me find start, center, and angle. Here says center, start, and angle. So these are the repeated form by just changing their order. I select this time instead of the previous one that I selected the start point, I give the center point. Now I give the start point. What was the value? It was 45. It was 45. That's it. And the other one that you can see here is the repetition of this one. Here we had start, center, length. Here say center, start, length. So I say here I need to again select the center point. For selecting the center point, shift and right click. The mid between 2 points, this point and this point, I have access to this one. Now I say the start point is here and the arc chord length is 20. I select 20 and let's do it again. It got an error. I select the center point, shift and right click. I select, okay, mid 2 points. I select this point and this point. Now I have my center point. My start point is here. And here says that what is your chord length? I say it's 20 and enter. Now it worked. The last one is continue. It means that when you created an arc, it continues your previous arc. If I select this, you see directly continues this arc that I have here, and directly I can select the endpoint to create my arc. There is an important issue here. When you give the angle or the direction, you can change the direction by pressing the control key, and now I changed my direction by using the control key. Now I'm pressing the control. If I take off using the control, it changed to its normal form. Now it's the continue form of drawing an arc. It was all the information about drawing an arc. What is their usage? We can use them for drawing the doors, different cases in architecture engineering, and it has different applications in mechanical engineering. We will do, don't worry, a lot of examples on these because I have promised you to be a practical course for you. But I don't want to make this tutorial too long to make you exhausted. Thanks for watching, and next session I will try to inform you about creating the point, because you saw here I have created the points, but it has some tricks. I will inform you about them, and you will be master in AutoCAD if you continue these tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because your subscribe is a positive energy for us to continue these tutorials. If this tutorial was useful, like this video and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, you can add in the comments below. Thanks for watching, best wishes, take care, and goodbye.